Hello, 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 pretty people. My name is Sarah, and I come to you from Northeast Ohio, where it is very sunny and thick and hot at the moment. We are having quite a little heat wave. But yeah, I wanted to hop on because I finished a blanket and I'm really excited about it. And I feel like I've been working on it forever and ever and ever. And I normally wouldn't try to sit down and record until next week, but it is a baby blanket, so I really would like to get it packed up and shipped off to my friend. So I thought I'd hop on and just do, this should be a super quick video. I don't have that much to go over. I think I just did one of these last week. So I don't really have that much. So let's jump into it and get it going and done and on your way. So obviously I will start with the blanket, which is the whole precipice for this whole episode today. I, as a reminder, was doing the Tonal Blanket pattern, which is a free pattern by Purl Soho. Mine looks just a little bit different than theirs. I think they just used two main colors, and I wanted to do more of like a rainbow. It's not, but then it was a whole thing. I talked about it last week. I had most of the colors of the rainbow. I was going to do it, but then it was going to end up being way too long if I included all the colors, and then I had to pull a whole color out because I ended up not liking it, and it was a whole thing. Anyway, I'm very, very happy with how it turned out. I used four colors. Sorry. They are all the Heatherly Sport Weight from Knitpicks, which I believe is a 100% acrylic yarn, and I liked it. It knit up very lovely for me. I have no qualms about it. So this is it. So there's purple, there's blue, then it goes to orange and pink. So that is that beauty. I'm really, really happy with the way it turned out, the pattern, the size, the pattern. Again, I did speak to last week, but it's a super easy 4-row repeat. It's just 2 rows of knitting back and forth, and then 2 rows of slipping your stitches with like yarn in front and yarn in back. But you can find it on the Purl Soho site. I also have it on a project page on my Ravelry. But just to show you up close, the pattern, it's just nice. It's just, you know, it's lightly textured, doesn't take away from the colors or anything like that. So I was so happy with this, and I'm glad I had it done. I had a self deadline of the end of July. I don't remember the date of today, but I'm right about there, 5 or 6 days to spare. So I did it, yay me, and I'm gonna get this wrapped up all pretty and shipped off to my friend. And I should beat the baby. That didn't sound right. The blanket should arrive before the baby arrives. So that is very exciting. I do feel like it took me forever to finish though. I know others feel this way too. But let me actually, hold on. Let me see how long it took me to actually finish. When did I start it? I started it June 13th and I finished it on July 25th. 13th to the 25th. So that was like what, 4, 5, like about 5 weeks. I mean, I guess that's not terrible considering it was sprinkled in like with other projects. So how do you guys keep track of your stuff? Like I do everything on Ravelry, but I don't know if it's just like my generation or like the time period I grew up in, but I always feel the need to physically write. Like I just feel better like writing a list, even though I use my phone for lists too, but I like writing a list, I don't know. Anyway, I just use this this little notebook. It's minimalist art. I got it from Amazon, but it has a nice little band on it, and then it does have 2 tags, which I really like because I use it. I'm trying hard this year. One of my goals at the beginning of the year was to better keep track of just like my stuff in general. So on like the first little page, I have it split out by the months. When I first started, I was keeping track of how many skeins I had coming in And I did it for just like a couple months, and then I was like, I don't know why I was tracking it, because I didn't actually care, because what I was going to buy was what I was going to buy. And I wasn't trying to, like, it seemed like this year was a really big year for people destashing and like using up all of their yarn. And that wasn't like what I was doing. So I don't know. I just really overcompensated, and I lost total care to keep track of it. So really all I'm doing, which truly is all I'm keeping, or what all I care about, is I'm keeping track of how many projects I started in the month, and then how many completed projects I had in the month, and then how many grams were knit of the completed projects. Because I did have a goal. I did want to knit 1,000 grams this year, which in hindsight is not a lot, but you have to remember that when, like, my main source of knitting previously was socks. So, you know, those are like, I don't know what, 80 grams, or I don't know how big are my socks. Like, they were like 70 to 80 grams. So to me, you know, that was over 10 pairs of socks if I was just doing socks. Well, you know, but then obviously you start to knit blankets or sweaters or all these things. So I like way surpassed that already. I have 1, 2, 3, wait, 1, 2, I have almost 3,000 grams knit already, and I started at wanting to just do 1,000. So, but you know, live and learn, and I will adjust my goals for next year. So how can I be mad about that? I like kicked butt with my really small, weird goal. So anyway, I do that on the front page, and then I keep track of like just all my projects then on the next pages. And I just started this, so it's kind of like a work in progress, because I wasn't sure like how I would really want to document things and all that kind of stuff. But I will, here, I can show you, I'll just show you this page. So like, I know you probably don't even care about this, but in case anyone needs inspiration, I just, I do each one in a different, oh, come on, there we go. Each one in a different color, just so it's easier to read on a page. And then I just do what I'm doing and who it's by, the start date, the end date, and then what yarn I'm using here, and then how many grams it ended up being when I finish it. And then these little black lines are just, what's it called? Like, they just mark off like the end of the month, so that I can easily kind of look at, like, you know, the months. Anyway, that was a really long rambling for something that you don't even need to know about. But anyway, I like colored pens, and I like notebooks, and I like writing. So it all worked out fine for me. So it was super fun to add my little tonal blanket and all the finished details in there. So that was fun. And then the only other thing I started was, oh, let me show you my my outline tee by Jessie Maed, because I have done a bit of progress on that. I forgot to put in a progress keeper where I was last week. But this is how much of the body I have done. It's almost 7 inches. I think I was like down here somewhere last week, maybe. So I'm just on stockinette right now. So it's like, you know, super easy and flying off very well. And then I'm using the Lindy chain, which is a Knit Picks fingering weight yarn in the color Rouge. So that's that Jessie Maed outline tee, going good. And then I did start, which is okay that I cast on, because I said last week that I was going to cast on. I did cast on a new pair of socks. I do have 2 sock whips. Like, I have 2 completed socks from 2 different patterns. But I wanted to use my July Farmer's Daughter Fiber colorway. So I started the Daily Socks by Summerly Knits. I started these like 2 days ago. So, you know, not super far. I just needed some nice, easy, walkable and travelable knitting. So that's as far as I got. This is the contrast color. You can't see it too well, but it is like a light, oh, I guess I could just show you the minis, the cake of it. It's, well, that, it makes it look really gray. It's not as gray as it looks. It's really more like a really, really light. It's not even, I guess it's like a lilac. I guess it is kind of gray. Whatever. It's this color, and I like it. and I'm using it, and that's that. So yeah, so not very far on the daily socks, but I do really like the pattern. Again, the pattern is super easy for row repeat, which I appreciate so much. So I did that. I showed you guys the outlined tee. Keep wanting to say tank. I'm not making the tank, I'm making the tee. Oh, and then the other thing that I forgot to show you guys last week that I have truly been like majorly busting out time on is my jelly roll blanket, which is a pattern by Kay Litton, Litton. No, just kidding. That's Kay the Crazy Sock Lady. Kay Jones, my bad. Oh my god, it's so embarrassing. Kay Jones designed the jelly roll blanket. Kay Litton makes it all the time, which was my inspiration. Well, anyway, so I don't even remember where I was the last time I showed you, but quick recap, I am using my row 1 yarn subscriptions to add into this. They're fingering 10-gram little balls. They're like little balls. And I'm just holding it double, so it is making it super nice and squishy and lovely. I, again, quick recap, am not a color person per se, or an explosion of color or random color. So this was like kind of like a little test to myself to get over that and to embrace a lot of colors. It's a lot for me to look at, but my youngest son really loves it, so that is what keeps me going. And he actually, I'm having him just dig into the basket I have everything housed in, and he's picking out each color for me. And you know, it's a whole thing where like he can't look inside the basket, it has to be totally random, so like he thinks it's like so funny, and you know, whatever. So I will show you. I have 3 completed rows of it. I don't really know how to show this very well, sorry. Okay, so this is the bottom per se. So hopefully that showed up well. I mean, obviously the colors aren't going to show up super great, but I really like it. I thought that it would work out that every row would be like a different month and a different dyer, but just it's not, and that's fine. Well, you know, whatever. But I love seeing all of the colors like work up. Like one of like this one in here, this like grayish multicolor is so beautiful. And so what's really nice is I'm also keeping track, like I'm taking pictures of every little 10-gram mini as I'm adding it in, so that I can keep track of like what the colors are. And then, you know, down the line, if I want to go and like purchase one of the, you know, some of these for another project from the dyer. So I'm just trying to keep track of it too, because I definitely don't want to lose that. But it's like all together, it's very overwhelming for me. But separately, like just some of these color and like the dye jobs on some of these, like even this like yellow with this like peachy orange, it's just I don't know, it's just really beautiful. And I just have such an appreciation for people who do this. I just their creativity is quite mind-blowing to me. Also, what's mind-blowing to me are all of these ends that I have to weave in, and I really need to do better about doing that as I go versus letting them build up, because guess what, if I do, they won't ever get done. So now that I have 3 completed rows and like there's no needles attached to it, I probably will, I'm going to take a minute to go back through and weave in all of these ends before starting my 4th row. So this is 3 rows. I don't know, I'm not really sure like how big I'm gonna make it yet. Obviously I know the length of it, because you have to determine that before going on to the next row. Well, I guess you don't have to, but I bound off, so I had to. But it's definitely long enough. I'm 5'7", and it comes to like floor, it comes to like my shoulders. So I felt like that was like a nice cozy-ish enough blanket. So super excited about that. And I'm really excited too, because I am almost done. I have 3.5 colors to add in for the last of my June month, and then I have July's month to add in. And if I remember correctly, I think my row ones come to me like the second-ish week of the month. So I do have like a tiny bit of time before getting August. It just feels really good because I was getting, the bags were just like sitting and sitting and sitting, and I wasn't working on it because I had just other projects I had to do. And now that that last baby blanket's done, it feels so nice to not have a project with a deadline. Like I just like, it was so weird. I like finished weaving, or weaving in the ends, and it was just like, like a weight just like fell off me. So it's really nice now to just like truly just joyously knit, have a couple projects to pick from, and kind of just work on what I'm in the mood for like at that moment. So that's been really, really nice. Please don't get me wrong, I love gift knitting. Like it's honestly like one of my favorite things to do, and part of the reason why I crochet and I knit, because it personally just brings me so much joy. But I'm also really glad that that's all done. So anyway, so my 3 main whips right now, obviously, as most crafters do, I have way more that are just collecting dust, but my jelly roll, my outline tee, and then my daily socks are the 3 that I'm gonna be like kind of going through right now. Oh, and I don't know why I felt like needing to show you guys this, but this is what my jelly roll blanket is kept in, and I just like, I think I might be like loving baskets. This is just like, it is actually colorful, so yay me. It has colored thread, I think it's like rainbow colored thread that's just embroidered around it. And I got this at Joann's. It was in their summer. I should have gotten more. It was in their summer section, which right now it's like on super clearance because of course they're bringing all their Halloween stuff in. And I literally got it for like dollars. That's quite non-descriptive. It was less than $10, and it's like it's a nice size basket, so it should hold this blanket for quite a while. If you have been watching for a little bit, I did previously crochet a basket that was intended to keep the jelly roll in, but I'm not loving it. Even though I used like really bulky weight yarns, it's a bit flimsy, so I do have some spray starch. I might try to use that, but I just really liked this one because it had handles, so I'm able to take it. I typically will knit on this in the morning with my coffee out on my porch, so it's just nice that like this basket has handles and I can just kind of like move it around a little bit easier. So anyway, if you were wondering, that's where that basket went. It went nowhere. It went nowhere. And then I guess we're already, I'm like flying through. I hope I'm not talking too quickly. I just don't honestly have a lot to update on this week. But I do have some goodies that came in. No, they are not yarn, because as I have said last week and probably every other week before that, I'm not buying any more yarn. But I did buy yarn, but I'll talk about that in a second. I did buy, I really love GingerSnapFibers bags. She's on Etsy, and of course I will put her link down below. I started with her bags. Hers were the first project bags that I had bought sometime last year, and I totally understand that project bags are not necessary, but I also feel like they're a really fun part of crafting, and they bring me joy, so whatever. So she has been having a ton of shop updates lately, and this last one, I just could not resist it because it had plants and gnomes and all the things I love. So I just got these in the mail, I think yesterday, which also, by the way, super fast shipping, like speedy shipping. The United States Postal Service must have hired thousands of more people, because there's no way that these bags, which I believe come from like Denver, got to Cleveland, Ohio as fast as they did. It was ridiculous. Obviously, I know a huge part of that has to do with her as well, which I thank her for that, because I was super excited about these bags. So I got 3 project bags. So this one is a snap closure, and I mean, look at how pretty this little floral print is. And then she puts handles on all of her bags, and then she, I believe always, I hope I'm not misspeaking, includes just this little like hooky guy inside, which I love to have. I don't always use it, but it's just nice to have it just in case. And then all 3 bags she usually has the option. I did buy yarn cozies with all of them too, because these I almost have found to be like a necessity when I cake my yarn, because it just really holds it so nicely, and this will hold 100-gram skein. So I did purchase matching, because I mean, you have to support crafters, right? Okay, so that's that one. And then this other one I got is another snap closure, and I mean, this one is like my jam all the way down to the colors. I love the grays and the greens, the gnomes, the cacti, the everything. So same thing inside, the little hook and a matching yarn cozy. And then this one, I love, screams summertime. Hello, watermelons. And I had not previously had any of her zip closure bags, so I wanted to get one of those, and then the little matching cozy. So these need to have projects in it ASAP. I will probably actually just put my daily socks were in a project bag, which I guess I could show you. I didn't show you that either. I do love this guy too. This is from Polka Creek. They are a yarn store and dyer and all that out in Canada. This is not, I should have had this information. I'm almost certain though these are not their bags. It was they have a collaboration. I want to say it's like with one of the gals, like grandmas or moms, like makes the bags, and then they, as the yarn dyer, like do, can't think of the words. I bought a sock set with this. That's what I'm trying to say. It came with a sock set, a stitch marker, and a project bag. And they do that like maybe every, I don't know. They update it every once a week or something like that with stuff. And anyway, so I snagged that, and I do love this project bag. I do love a good drawstring bag. So that's that. Okay, so let's yarn buying talk for a moment. I said last week very adamantly that I was not going to purchase any more yarn. There is no reason to purchase any more yarn. I don't need any for any upcoming projects. I have a yarn wall full. I have a yarn cubby that is half full. Half of it has fabric in it. And it doesn't matter. And really, I don't need to explain myself, but I'm gonna. So the 2 things I bought are yarn subscriptions. So not technically new. Like not, yeah, I bought yarn subscriptions, and I will tell you why. The one is the Yarnable yarn box that is a monthly subscription that I have been on the wait list for a very long time for, and anytime a spot would open up, I just missed it, and it was obviously my fault. I just wasn't quick enough. So I was finally able to get in with that. So I'm not even gonna apologize for that, because I have been on the wait list for a few months for that, and I was so super excited when I actually like got a spot. And I'm so excited. And then the other yarn subscription, I will actually blame somebody that commented on here, and oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I totally forgot who it was, because they were talking about finishing a pair of socks from the Freckled Whimsy. And the Freckled Whimsy, I have had my eye on for so long, but for some reason I was not following them on Instagram, which sounds ridiculous, but they're like yarn would always come up in other podcasts that I would watch, and I just love it. And I will buy all the self-striping yarn anytime. Like, it's just, there are a lot of people that are obsessed with self-striping. I understand it. I embrace it. I love it. So I was doing some late night shopping, which usually gets me in trouble. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sign up for theirs too. So I signed up for their monthly subscription as well for their yarn socks, or sock yarn. And I'm not even going to apologize because I'm super excited about it. And I will probably just, usually keep those going with like just vanilla socks, or Kay Litton's, I can't remember the name of it. It's not Do-si Do. Do-si Do. It's just like it doesn't matter. You can look it up. So I'll probably just keep that yarn going on one of those like every month as well. And I'm really, really, really excited to get that in, because because then of course, like as I was signing up for the monthly subscription, I was perusing their shop, and it was like overwhelming how beautiful some of all of their color combinations were. It was very difficult to resist. But I can't even say I wanted to be responsible, because what do I need 2 more yarn subscriptions for? But whatever, I did it. And guess what? I can cancel it. And guess what? I don't actually have to answer to anybody. So, yes, I bought yarn, but like not really, but I know really. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm super excited to share all that though, because I love a good yarn subscription. I just do. It's so much fun. I actually, guys, think that that's all I have. I am going to open up. I still have not opened up the box for my knitting machine that I showed, I think, last episode. I was going to try to do it this past weekend, but then there was like a lot of life stuff that I was not able to do that with. But I think I am going to try to do that this coming weekend, or maybe sometime even this week. And I'll probably hopefully have something to share about that next recording. And that really is it. I'm gonna boogie, and this was super short. I hope you're glad about that. Maybe, I don't know. But happy knitting, happy making, happy not knitting or making if you just like can't do it this week, because that's okay too. I do wish you the best day. I hope all is well, and I will see you soon.